Welcome, Aries, to your guided healing reading, where we take a look at what's going on in your healing journey, what is keeping you stuck, how to get you unstuck, and then some general advice on your healing journey. So let's jump right in, Aries. This is what came out in the cleansing ceremony. We had the Three of Cups, Ten of Swords in reverse, Eight of Swords in reverse, Eight of Cups in reverse, Two of Pentacles in reverse, and Three of Pentacles upright. So already I'm really liking this energy that you are going through. Three of Cups, this is emotional fulfillment, celebration. It's also a transmutation of emotional energy into something. So it seems like you are taking your emotions and literally transforming them into something that you are enjoying or something that is productive. With the Ten of Swords in reverse, you let go of something that was starting to make you sick almost. Like if you would have held on to this ending and like held on to it so that it couldn't end, then you would have turned kind of into like, you know, how Smeagol turned into Gollum because of the ring sort of thing. This is a Gollum. It has nothing to do with Lord of the Rings, but the same principle is there of like something turning you into like a creature almost because you are holding on to it too tightly. So I'm really glad to see that you have let that go. Eight of Swords in reverse, you decided to not go down with that ship. Eight of Cups in reverse, you are breaking emotional patterns. With the Two of Pentacles in reverse of feeling the need to always be balancing like within. Basically, it's like you're doing the masculine and feminine work, or the yin and yang, balancing all on your own when it comes to the physical. You're done with doing that. Instead, you are understanding collaboration and are working in, it's possible that you're working in a group, like working, you know, like a group project or something like that. But with the Three of Cups and Three of Pentacles, you're literally working with the energy of abundance. So it's like everything, as you've let this go and you're transmuting your emotional energy, more good things are coming to you. And it feels like a lot of financial prosperity. It's like you're able to transmute your emotions, even the quote unquote negative ones, like even they're not really negative, even the unwanted emotions or uncomfortable emotions, you're able to transmute into something that is literally like the stepping stones physically towards, you know, your goal, whether it's money or house or relationship with your body, whatever it is. Free time is what I'm hearing. So love to see that for you, Aries. We did have Inkay using Psybeam, with Chimicho using Bell of Silence, Moon of Future Sight, Corellia Calm Mind, Malamar, Psychic Sphere, and Shaman Flippity Flap. So literally it feels like, you know, with Inkay, it is a dark type using Psybeam. So it is telling me that you did go through a lot of like darkness, and your Psybeam is like in your third eye, in your psychic senses. And it could have been maybe about someone who was taking stuff from you, or kind of like stealing your harvest in some sort of way. And with the Bell of Silence, you were able to, after navigating through this sort of dark, dense energy, you were able to calm your mind basically with the Bell of Silence. You were able to silence your third eye. And maybe it was like silencing someone else's voice in your head rather than actually silencing your own. But whatever this Bell of Silence is here, it has caused you to be able to see the future more easily with future sight here. It's like you can see your desired timeline that you are manifesting. And again, with Corellia Calm Mind, it's because you have a calm mind now. And when you calm your mind and you know, are able to enjoy sort of this silence, you are able to see the future better. With Malamar, Psychic Sphere, it seems like Malamar is known for like mind control, literally. So it seems like someone was in your psychic sphere that was trying to mind control you. And again, that is what has been silenced. And because of that, with Shaman using Flippity Flap, it's like you literally were able to, and this is it's called the Gratitude Pokemon. So I feel like you're very grateful for this experience, even though it may have not been the, you know, most welcome necessarily. But Shaman is a mythical Pokemon. So anytime a mythical or legendary comes out, it tells me that you're doing some really important, deep, deep work. So congratulations, Aries. Give yourself a pat on the back already. With Flippity Flap, it's like you were able to basically get out of this mind control energy. And part of it is because you are grateful for the experience and things that have happened. But again, shamans, right, are known for their transmutation abilities. And that's exactly what you're doing with the Three of Cups to the Three of Pentacles. So again, I love to see it. So like I said, Aries, what we're going to do is take a look at what is going on currently right now in your healing journey. What is keeping you stuck or any sort of issues that you're having, how to overcome that, and then some general advice on your healing journey. Feel the need to kind of put these a little topsy-turvy for whatever reason. So maybe life has been a little bit more topsy-turvy lately. Again, there was like a period of turbulence, but nothing you can't handle. All right, let's see what's going on with you, Aries. 10 of Pentacles in reverse, the Hermit, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, 9 of Cups in reverse, and 5 of Cups in reverse. Wow. All right, so 10 of Pentacles. So again, there is like 10 of Pentacles when it's coming out in reverse. You may not be in the abundance that you are seeking currently. Again, we see that the key from the cleansing ceremony is to transmute your emotions into financial success, or material success, I should say. It doesn't necessarily mean finances. With the 10 of Pentacles coming out in reverse, it's saying like maybe you don't have the generational wealth that you desire, or even the free time that you desire. With the Hermit here, it looks like you've been doing some inner work on that. Hermit always represents sort of self-isolation, going within, or learning. We are in true Virgo season right now, where the sun is in the constellation Virgo, so perfect time to be sort of in that Hermit mode. But in this deck specifically, the Hermit represents connecting to nature more, because even though she is quote unquote alone, if you like look deeper in the card, there are all these like animal totems and nature spirits and stuff that are with her, sprites and nymphs and things like that. So it does seem like you're connecting a little bit more with what nature is telling you at this time. With the Queen of Pentacles coming out in reverse, I feel like you're understanding like time limitations, but also that you are not limited by time. Because with the Queen of Pentacles here, like she's here holding this stopwatch, or just like, oh, I guess it is a pentacle. I've always seen it as a clock. And she's ushering in the winter, right? The Queen of Pentacles, which doesn't mean, you know, D-A-T-H-E-A-T-H, right? It's not an ending, it's a dormancy, right? It's part of the cycle. So it feels like you're not necessarily ready to go dormant. You haven't given up is what I'm hearing. So it feels like, again, you're connecting to nature and doing all the things that you want to do before winter does come, or the transitionary period, depending on what hemisphere you're in. So for some of you, it may be summer. With the 9 of Cups coming out in reverse, it seems like you are releasing delusion, and also you may be, with the Hermit here, it feels like you're more grounded than doing grid work. So maybe you thought like, oh, I want to go on vacation, I want to do this travel. You may be in like kind of gridlocked a little bit, but more so grounding and rooted than gridlocked. It feels like you're meant to be connected to the nature plane of where you are right now, rather than be traveling here. And with the 5 of Cups in reverse, it's also telling me that you are trying to do the right thing. You're like doing right by yourself, and you're releasing pain and sadness. And it feels like some people didn't do right by you, and you're letting them go. They're still kind of showing up, that energy and situation, but it kind of feels like an afterthought, which is really good, because it does feel like it was more prominent before. Because the 5 of Cups is a really interesting story, I feel the need to tell you. It's about this like traveling salesman guy, and he's like, you know, he's engaged to the love of his life and stuff, and he's traveling during a storm and takes refuge in this castle, and the innkeeper of the castle like brings him in and tries to set him up with his daughter, and he's like, oh no, I'm in love, but eventually he gets seduced by her, and he gets convinced to marry her. And again, it's because he's not asserting his willpower and doing the right thing of what's right for him. He's letting other people dictate what is happening in his reality. And so, you know, he ends up marrying the daughter of the innkeeper, and then after they're married, her like disguise falls down, and turns out she's actually a ghost. And she's just this, you know, it represents these 5 cups. They're all empty because she has no emotions, and she's trying to like feed off of the living, and her father's like helping. So again, it's like a really weird kind of, there can be some like family weirdness there. But again, there is this aspect of like, and then he's like, oh no, you know, he tries to leave, but he can't because he's in a soul contract with this with this ghost lady, and he can't leave the castle anymore. And he even tries to like go to the love of his life, and it's like, you're already married to someone else, you know, she's distraught and stuff. So again, it's coming out in reverse. I feel like you have a pretty painful kind of love story that has happened to you, but again, it's like now it's just an afterthought, which is good. Let's see what's the light energy here. But I was gonna say it's still coming up, so it does feel like maybe you are still healing with that. Yeah, we have the heart chakra in reverse. This is grass type energy in reverse. So, and it's interesting because I thought this was going to come out right. So I feel like the flippity flap is kind of like a flippity flop of the heart chakra. So it feels like the heart chakra is kind of, you know, in reverse because it does represent your connection with nature. It also represents the connection with, you know, love and finances as well. All of which are sort of on the same frequency, right? Abundance, the access of the vibration of love is like very similar to the access of the vibration of abundance, and abundance is nature codes, right? Nature is abundant. It is always proliferating. It is always multiplying. So, yeah. So it feels like, again, maybe you need to tune into nature before the dormant stage because, it's like your heart needs those codes, basically. But with shaman here, flippity flap, again, it does seem like you are moving towards more gratitude. It's like you're flapping your wings and sort of getting out of this situation that, again, someone really did you wrong. There's no doubt about that. But it does seem like the energy still is kind of lingering, and it's influencing your relationship with creating generational wealth and, you know, having the time that you want to yourself and so on. It says it can dissolve toxins in the air to instantly transform ruined land into a lush field of flowers. That's beautiful. So yeah, you are really working on someone who brought a lot of coldness and bitterness and sort of destroyed your crops, right? You know, we saw that in the Meowth card, or the Inkay card that came out in the cleansing ceremony where he's like stealing fruits from Meowth, which is the money cat. And so it seems like, you know, there could be some, you know, devoured land of, you know, ruined land or whatever, and you are bringing life back to that. So I feel like you're in that vibration of abundance, like you're in the process of doing it. It's not that you're necessarily in these lush fields at the moment, but you're doing the work that's necessary for that to be happening. So that's, again, very proud of you, Aries. Give yourself a tap on the back. Ooh, I just got like chills. And I forgot to mention, like, right when I tapped into your energy, or before I started the video, while I was tapping into your energy, it felt like there was a mosquito that was, like, trying to bite me right here, but there was nothing there. And I looked up that part of the body, and it was, like, fear of receiving. So I feel like there could be, like, a receiving wound here. All right, let's see what's the shadow here. Okay, dart tricks using leafage and wing flick. And again, this is talking about like clearing the air, right? It can dissolve toxins in the air, which is like getting rid of toxic communication. So you're really clearing the air about a bunch of things. And as you're clearing the air, more abundant energy is coming to you. We have another grass type Pokemon, which again, this is all about the heart chakra. Okay. And with dart tricks, we have Owl Spirit. Owl Spirit is all about, you know, wisdom and things like that, but birds in general represent communication. So again, in the shadow here, we have leafage. So it's like, there could be some communication about perhaps money. There could be, you know, with blade quill Pokemon, that, like, it's called the blade quill Pokemon, which like a blade quill, I always take as like someone who can be very sharp and sort of cold with their communication here. It says, this narcissistic Pokemon is a clean freak. If you don't groom it diligently, it will stop listening to you. Yeah, so again, I feel like, again, someone did not do right by you, and it felt like you did deal with a narcissist, and now you're sort of, you know, clearing the air about that and like getting back into your own energy after someone was kind of like trying to dictate everything that you were doing. Specifically, it's like, the thing is, I can tap more into this, but it feels like you're over it, and like an important part of moving on is to like sort of stop rehashing what happened in the past, why they did what they did, and things like that. It's really not even a blame game anymore. It's really about just moving on and continuing to do your heart chakra work on your own. Okay. So I'm not going to go deeper into that relationship because you know what they did. I know what they did. And that's that. And it's in the past and we'll just leave it there. And that's part of clearing the toxins in the air because you're clearing the own toxins coming out of your own air, your own throat chakra, your own lungs. You see how that light just like got brighter? Yeah. So let's bring some more light, right? Okay. All right. Let's see what the issue is here. Okay. I was going to say, you know, since we're talking about light, let's just pull an oracle. I feel like play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Yeah. So to bring some more light in, yeah, play, right? Celebrate, have fun. We saw the Three of Cups. You're already in that celebratory mode. Don't be so serious about things. And again, it seems like maybe every time you tap into this past relationship or people have done you wrong, etc., like it makes you really serious. It brings you into a darker space where you have to be more serious because it was a serious situation. But it's like, now's the time to get out of that, be in more light energy, have more fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. We have Two of Wands in reverse and Queen of Swords. Yeah, it's funny because like, I was going to say Dartrix reminds me of as the blade quill of like, that cold and cutting communication. I was going to say it's very much like the Queen of Swords. So with the Two of Wands in reverse, it's saying like, you know, you don't have to constantly be looking in the mirror is what I want to say. You don't have to be connecting with people who mirror back sort of like the worst parts of your experience or who mirror things in you that you don't want to experience anymore, right? So again, like, right, let's use this past person as an example, right? Narcissistic abuse. I'll just use that as a general term. So maybe you meet people who've also experienced narcissistic abuse or who are narcissists and you just are constantly sort of arguing with them to like rehash this abuse to try to change the outcome or whatever. Again, it's about like not doing that sort of energy work anymore, right? It's like, okay, it's time for something new. Because it does look like there is a need to reflect on yourself more than sort of like blame other people. Because the Two of Wands in reverse can mean that like you don't want to look at your own reflection in a way. You don't want to look at your part in the cycle. It's so easier to just blame narcissistic abusers and, you know, everyone does me wrong in this, but it's like, okay, what about your energy signature that is subconsciously attracted to people who abuse in that manner? And that's some tough work. But the Two of Wands in this deck is the doppelganger, which is the evil twin. So for some of you, there can be like a twin flame journey of like thinking someone might be your twin when really they are an abuser. Okay. With the Queen of Swords coming out in reverse, again, very much kind of clearing the toxic air. The Queen of Swords in this deck is a screaming banshee. So it's like so much pain, so much that like all they can do is scream and cry. And, you know, it's like their voice is so shrill and shrieky that no one wants to listen to them, right? And so, again, if you're finding that certain things that you want to talk about, no one wants to talk to you about these situations, or no one wants to hear this story anymore, or no one wants to listen to you when you're correcting their behavior, whatever the situation is, it's time for you to have more control over your throat chakra. Dial it back so you can work on your heart chakra. Because if the heart chakra is upside down or broken or whatever it is, it's going to cause, right, because the heart chakra is here and the throat chakra is right above it. So it's going to cause this like issue with the way that you're speaking and the way that you're using your air, right? And so, again, it's time to do a little bit reflective work, okay? And again, you can have fun and celebrate. Don't be so serious. Like, if you're in that serious mode all the time, then you're going to connect with people who are also connecting on a serious level, who just want to argue with you or abuse you or do you wrong or try to justify your abuser's behavior sort of thing, right? It's like you don't need to convince anyone that you've been done wrong. You need to move on and do better for yourself, right? Don't do wrong. It's time for you to do right by you now. which is getting out of this energy. Okay, let's see what's the light energy here. And again, this is like the issue, but it's also, it kind of feels like the solution too, which is an interesting thing. I feel like this also wants to come out and this also wants to come out. So we have Shellos, Rain Splash in reverse with Corellia using Disarming Voice and Pikachu using Thunder Shock. Yeah. So with Shellos, again, there is this aspect of balancing masculine and feminine energy within the emotional body. With Rain Splash in reverse, there can be this energy of like not wanting to no longer be in the rain, right? Which is kind of like wanting to get out of this sort of storm cloud. It says the shape and coloration vary depending on its habitat, and it's the sea slug Pokemon. So it's talking about the coloration and shape that may vary. So it's telling me, like, again, who you're connecting with may vary. They can be all shapes and colors and sizes and things like that. But again, the theme is people don't want to listen to what you say about certain things. And again, that's why reflection is necessary. Because with Disarming Voice, like maybe you even have soul connections, right? Where it's like, they're very disarmed. They're not interested in like talking to these sorts of things. And then like, if they're not interested in your Queen of Swords mode, then you're not interested in them, right? Because maybe the only type of people who are interesting are people who bring out this serious side of you and trigger that, you know, abuse cycle. It says it has psychic powers that enables it to distort the space around it and see into the future. And it's called the Emotion Pokemon. So part of it can also be the way that you're using your own psychic power and distorting space, not time, but space, to see into the future. So again, maybe, again, if someone is very disarming and you feel not in conflict with them, right? Maybe they're disarmed to you. And maybe when you're around them, you feel disarmed. So you don't feel like you need to defend yourself or that you need to be offensive. Maybe you look into the future with them and you're like, nah, there's nothing there. There's no passion or whatever. And again, good love is calm. Healthy love is calm. It's peaceful. Doesn't mean that there won't be exciting things, but it is calm. It feels safe for your nervous system. It's safe to disarm. So with Pikachu here using Thunder Shock, yeah, it feels like you want that Thunder Shock. You want this, and it's holographic too, you want this electricity to be running through your body, right? It's like you don't want the rain, you don't want the sadness, right? But you want the electricity of the storm. And it's not like that, right? If you feel electricity, honey, there's going to be rain, okay? There's going to be sadness, there's going to be tears. So it's like you want the electricity without the rain. It says it raises its tail to check its surrounding. The tail is sometimes struck by lightning in this pose. Yeah, so it's talking about checking its tail to check the surroundings. So it's like, again, the tales that you're telling yourself, that's assessing the surroundings, assessing the space that you're in with this person. And because you're assessing that space, you look into time and see, oh, if I'm not energetically activated right now, if my nervous system isn't about this person, then no, there's no future with them. And that's the issue here. Let's see what's the, because again, sometimes that tail is struck by lightning, and you've been struck by lightning with people before, where you meet people and it's like the quote unquote love at first sight and electricity is running through your body. And that's always how it starts. And how does that always end, Aries? It always ends in the Five of Cups, where they do not do right by you. That's the cycle. What's the shadow here? Palkia, Overdrive, Smash. Yeah, and this is the spatial Pokemon. So this is it's a legendary. So again, big energy. And it is literally the god of space, or the Pokemon, the entity that controls space in the space-time continuum. And with Overdrive, Smash. So yeah, it's like you feel like in a space that your emotions have to be in overdrive, and maybe that you want to smash them immediately. You know, that lust has to automatically be there for you to want to connect with them. And again, that's why you need to reflect on your own cycles, the way that your nervous system is not a calm system, and what your nervous system is signaling to you, and what this electricity when you first meet means in the long term. Because you can see into the future with that. If someone is activating your nervous system when you meet, that is a trauma response. That's your body telling you this person is unsafe. Period. It says it has the ability to distort space. Again, spatial distortions is definitely the issue that's coming out here in your healing journey. It says it is described as a deity in the Sinnoh region mythology. Yeah, again, a spatial distortion, which is very interesting. If you have Capricorn placements, I really recommend that you check that out, because Capricorn, their reading was an issue with space, and a lot of it had to do with spatial distortions as well. Very interesting. Okay, I saw addicted. Yeah, your nervous system may be addicted to the chaos that it feels in the connection. It's like addicted to its own stress hormones. And when you first meet someone, your body already knows into the timelines of what's going to happen. This person's going to betray me. The nervous system says, I know that. Like, I know what this feels like. And therefore, it's like how they say the nervous system will always choose a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven. And that's exactly what this feels like, because the body will always go towards what is normal to it, even if that normal is very unhealthy. So let's see what we can do to help you with some shadow work here. I won't cry for you, fated to suffer. Yeah, that's exactly this rain splash in reverse is like, no, I'm not gonna, I don't want the tears. I don't want this, but I want the lightning. It's like, you can't have that. That's not a thing. I mean, there is such thing as heat lightning, right? But that's when you have a fire going together already, and it takes time to nurture that fire into something sustainable and healthy over time. Instant attraction is called a trauma bond, and you don't want that. So again, it does seem like you are resisting doing some emotional releasing. And fated to suffer, yeah, this is the program that is deep-seated. It's this aspect of like original sin, I guess, in a biblical sense. But there is something in your shadow that you need to reflect on of, why do you believe that you're fated to suffer? Why do you believe that people are going to betray you, not do right by you, that everyone's a narcissist or everyone's out to get you, hurt you, whatever it is, right? Whatever this pain program, whatever this suffering program is, this is what's running in the background. And that's what you really need to focus on. All right, let's see. Let's bring some light in here. The initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. And it went right to Dartrix. So, oh, and dance with life. Do something to change your energy. Yeah, it's time to get out of this energy. Again, this is the past. You don't have to keep repeating it. You're not fated to suffer the same thing over and over again. And maybe because you wanted to change the past, you wish that things turned out a different way. It's like you're unconsciously seeking the same type of connection in order to change that person, to prove that you are worthy of that type of love, or that your love is so strong it can change a person, sort of thing. You deserve better. You don't have to change anyone. And certainly no one should change you. This is the initiation. You are going through a rite of passage of getting out of this dark energy and moving into the light. And honestly, sometimes narcissistic abuse is that energy that some people have to go through to understand what darkness truly is, what shadow is, and for you to be able to hold your own light. And it's like a spiritual initiation through suffering programs and needing to overcome these suffering programs and the beliefs that you have to suffer in order to earn love or whatever it is, right? These are deep-seated pain programs. And look, there's that lightning. And it's like, you don't need to be in stormy days. It's time for you to enjoy the sun, to, be in an environment that's not toxic, be in an environment that is healthy and abundant and blossoming and beautiful, because you really do deserve that. So in the extended, we are going to see how to get you there, to walk through this threshold, get over this initiation hump, overcome this obstacle, and then some general advice on your healing journey. If you would like to follow me there, the link is in the description box below. It is available for Eagle and Phoenix members. If you are not already a member, you can go ahead and sign up and become a member on my website. You can go to the menu and plans and subscriptions and choose whichever one is right for you. All right, my dear Aries, I will see you in the extended.